Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica. Today is launch day for block number 11 of our 2025 Sew With Me series. So we're on block number 11, everyone. We are almost done with this quilt. We just have one more left and we'll have a fun quilt for the holiday season. As always, don't forget to join our Sew With Me group on Facebook. Everyone is sharing their progress there. You can get the free PDF download for today's block below this video, as well as a link to my blog post that has all the information that you need for this year's sew along, including all the fabric requirements. So let's go ahead and take a look at today's block. This one is a lot of fun. It's a little bit more work than some of the other blocks because we've got a lot going on here, but I am going to show you how to make this fast and easy. You can chain piece all of these pieces, so I think you're going to enjoy this one. As you can see, I also made it really scrappy with the pinks and the reds, but you could make all of these the same color if you wanted, and then I also did scrappy greens as well. I'm using all of my leftover scraps from my Believe fabric from my Christmas Spools quilt, so I'm having to get creative as we get closer to the end of this sew along. So let's go ahead and get started with today's tutorial. All right, ready for our recap? These recaps are getting so fun. So we've got block number 1, we've got block 2 for our special bow unit. In the same video, we made our pieced backing block. We've got block 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and lastly, block 10. We only have 2 more blocks to go. That's what we have so far. Let's go ahead and get started with today's video. We'll be making block number 11. So here are all our pieces ready to go. I'm going to set these aside. The first things we're going to be working on are our E, H, and G units. And we're going to be making 4 of these units. The first thing we're going to do is take our H squares, draw a line from corner to corner on the wrong side. We're going to do the same thing with our G square. The G we can set aside. We're going to take our H squares. I'm going to take this to the machine, so right along this diagonal line, trim a 1/4 inch away and press. Now because we're going to have a lot of seams coming together, I'm going to be pressing these open. You're always just going to want to follow the instructions in the pattern for the pressing. And then now we can come back and add our other one, and we're going to just make sure that our seams are going the same direction as our previous stitch line. Now before we move on, I do like to square up my block. So this block should be 3.5 by 3.5. This side looks pretty good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take our G piece. We're going to place it on one of our open corners. So you'll notice I have a pink and a red, and I want to make sure that those are going to line up when I do this. So I want my pinks touching and I want my reds touching. So for me that means I need to put my G square on this corner. And in the pattern it'll show you how to line these up. So you'll be sewing 2 one way and 2 the other way so that those scrappy colors will all line up. All right, so we're just going to take this one to our machine and just sew right along this edge again, trim and press. And again, I'm pressing all of these seams open because they're all going to be touching each other, and I just want to make sure that we don't have too much bulk. And I like to just finger press my seams before I hit them with my iron because I just feel like that makes it a little bit easier. For these, I do like to use my tailor's clapper because we have a lot of seams coming together. And then I'll just trim this block up one more time just to make sure before I move on to my next step. This actually looks pretty good. Okay, so now we have 2 and 2. The next thing we're going to work on are our flying geese units, and we're going to need 4 flying geese. We're going to make ours one at a time. Since I have chosen to do opposite colors on this unit, I do need to have 2 pink flying geese and 2 red flying geese. So it'll just be easier if we make them one at a time. And we've done this in previous videos, but I will show you again. You're going to want to draw a line from corner to corner on the wrong side of all of your squares. And we're just going to take 2 reds to do our first flying geese. We're going to place 1 right here on the end. So right along that diagonal line, we're going to trim a 1/4 inch away and press. Now because we've pressed all of these open, I'm going to go ahead and press these open as well. So I usually just press to one side and then come back in and press the open. All right, and if you know you're going to be pressing your seams open, I do recommend reducing your stitch length to about a 1.5. That way you have a little bit more stability on this seam that's getting pressed open. We're going to take our other red square and we're going to sew opposite direction from our original seam. So our original seam is going this way. This one needs to go this way. Again, we're going to stitch right on that line, trim, and press open. All right, and here's our flying geese unit. We're gonna make 4 of these. We're gonna make 2 red and 2 pink. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just trim this down. So I thought I would show you that really quickly. These need to get trimmed to 2.5 by 4.5. And so as you can see, I've made mine just slightly larger. And to trim these down, I'm putting this point right here at the top of our flying geese at the 1/4 inch mark away from my cut line. I'm also going to try and line up these corners down here, the 2.5 and the 4.5 line, so that I've got these 2 corners and this corner relatively lined up, and then that way I can trim. We're going to turn it around the opposite direction. Again, now we can line up our 4.5, 2.5 right along there. I'm also still checking these points right here, and they all look pretty good. And now we've trimmed down to a perfect flying geese unit. Cut sizes on my pattern are slightly larger so that you have a little bit of wiggle room to trim down all of your flying geese units. All right, so I'm going to take my other flying geese. I'm going to make another red one. So here's one, and then I'm going to make 2 pinks. So I'm just going to take these to my machine, make those really quick, and I'll meet you right back here. So now we have all of our flying geese units. We've got our 2 reds and our 2 pinks. We are going to take our C rectangles and we are going to sew a C rectangle on either side, both sides of each of our flying geese units. So just like that. I'm actually not going to lay them out here. I'm going to take all these to my machine and I'm just going to chain stitch them. So I'm going to sew all the C units to the right side. I'll flip this whole thing around and then come back and sew all the C units to the left side. All right, so here are my pieces. You can see they're all still chain pieced together. I'm going to go ahead and press them together as well. So I just set that seam and then I'm just going to run down this edge. And just press them all at the same time. Now I can just come through and trim them off. All right, and here are all of our flying geese units ready to go. All right, we're going to set these aside. We're just going to sew together this center unit. So what I just want to make sure is that all of my greens are going toward the center and then my pinks are touching and my reds are touching. So just like this, we're going to sew our top and bottom row together and then we'll come back and sew these together. We'll square this up and then we can add our outside pieces. Now I've demonstrated this in previous videos, but we're going to put these right sides together, and because we pressed our seams open, everything should line up nicely. But to make sure that we've got this point right here that we're after, you can do one of 2 things. You can mark 1/4 inch, or you can just go ahead and pop your pin right there at that seam, just like that, and then same thing with this seam. We're just going to put it right here at this seam. Straighten everything out just like that. We'll straighten everything out, just make sure it's straight, and then I just pull my pin out and place it back in to hold everything in place. So I'm going to do that to that one. I'm also going to do that same thing to this bottom piece. And again, I'm just going to go right in this seam right there, find my seam here. See, this one's just a slightly less than 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and poke it right where it needs to go, straighten everything out, and then pin it in place. So we'll go ahead and sew down this edge using 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to press these open just like we did our other seams. So here's our top and bottom, and now we just need to place these right sides together. Again, I'm going to pin at each of these intersections just to make sure that they're lined up. All right, and then we can take this and sew right along this edge 1/4 inch. Here's our piece. This looks really good. We're going to trim this down 6.5 by 6.5. I'm actually looking at the white lines on my Creative Grids ruler that run right down the center. That's all I trimmed off. And here we go. That looks really good. Now we just need to assemble our block. So now I know I need to put a pink flying geese here, a pink flying geese here, and then a red on either side. Then we just need to grab our F squares, and mine have little houses on them, so they're directional. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that they're all going the right way, just like that. And now we can sew our rows together. Here's my 3 rows coming together, and then now I just need to add my top and bottom row. And I have pressed all of the seams on this block open. I just think it makes it lie a little bit flatter, and I am gonna pin at each of those intersections. And now we just need to take this to our machine and sew right along these edges using a 1/4 inch seam. So here is our finished center. I've trimmed it down to 10.5 by 10.5. And then the only thing we have left to do is add our B strips to both sides, and then our A strips to the top and bottom. And here is our finished block. This is block number 11. I think it turned out so cute. I like that it's scrappy, but of course, like I mentioned before, you could do all of these reds the same color. I'm just trying to work with my leftover scraps and get the most use out of my fabric as I can. As you see, I also made the center greens and the outer greens a different color as well. So that's it for today's block. I've trimmed it down to 12.5 by 12.5. It's ready to go over in my pile, and we just have one more block to make to finish out this year's sew along. So let's take a look at our stitching progress up until this point. This is blocks 1 through 11. I hope you have all enjoyed it so much. I'm having so much fun with this stitch, and I kind of look forward to getting the new block, just sitting down. It really only takes me about an evening to do one of these little guys. So it's kind of nice. You get a new block at the beginning of the month, and then you can go and just enjoy watching a movie and stitching a little bit, and you can just see your progress coming together. So it's going to be so cute when we're done. Now, by now you all know that I used the classic Colorworks floss palette. You could also have chosen the DMC floss. You could also choose any color that you like, and I stitched on 14 count antique white Ada. It's just the DMC Charles Craft, and I got it at my local hobby store. But here's our progress for blocks 1 through 11. I hope you're all enjoying the stitch along. Let me know in the comments below what color scheme you went with, or did you go with mine? And if so, did you do the classic Colorworks or the DMC floss? And don't forget to post your progress in our Sew With Me group on Facebook. I'm posting my progress there for you all to see as well. But here's our little update for blocks 1 through 11, and then I'll see you next time with our finished cross stitch piece. All right, everyone, that is it for block number 11. I hope you enjoyed it. I was really happy with how all of my seams came together. And then as I showed, we did press a lot of those seams open. That can really help reduce the bulk and get everything nice and lined up so you have really good points in your blocks. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I would love to see your progress in our Sew With Me group on Facebook, so don't forget to post that there. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave those below. I would love to hear how this sew along is going, and if you've enjoyed it, and maybe what colors you're using, what fabric you're using in the comments below. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any upcoming fun. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next month for block number 12. What we'll do is perhaps do it this way. We're going to set this aside, and the first thing we're going to work on is, what are we working on?